Yo, my name is Ben Haggerty and I'm a content creator based out of Los Angeles, California. I moved from the Midwest about 3 years ago, and those 3 years have been the most insane years of my life.
What's up? Dude, I'm documenting the whole thing.
In short, some of my accomplishments since moving here have been co-editing the Chris Brown documentary that premiered all over the world in theaters and released on Netflix and iTunes, making a global splash, topping all the charts. It even played in my hometown movie theater, which was dope as fuck. I then edited and shot some of the shit for the Chris Brown royalty album music video series, which got nominated for a VMA. We lost to Beyonce. I then edited and shot second camera for Mary J. Blige's documentary, Strength of a Woman. That shit premiered on VH1 and we had a viewing party at my homie Ryan Phillippe's crib. I also won some award.
Damn, that's crazy.
I then directed my first big budget brand video for EA Sports featuring Lil Dicky, Antonio Brown, Von Miller, and Rob Gronkowski. That shit was hilarious.
Got it.
I then traveled the world documenting Schoolboy Q on his Blank Face tour for 5 straight months, playing 66 shows in Europe, the UK, Australia, Canada, and the US. I also shot for Kendrick Lamar at a few festivals. After that, I went on to work with a bunch of influencers and brands, making content that got millions of views, and then co-directed my first feature-length documentary for the legendary New York Times best-selling author Lewis Howes. Remember earlier when I said that we lost to Beyonce for the VMAs? Well, she eventually became my new boss, and my first job was to shoot her massive headlining Coachella performance, operating one of her main cameras that live streamed to millions of people all over the world. I've never wanted to shit my pants more than I did in that moment. Beyonce liked me, I guess, so she brought me on her world tour with her husband Jay-Z. We played 48 stadiums in 5 months over Europe, UK, US, and Canada. They said it was the biggest tour in the world, grossing $253.5 million. One time Jay even brought me up on stage to see the show from his point of view. That was dope. I then flew to New York to direct a spot for EA Games Battlefield starring Trevor Noah, King Batch, Amanda Cerny, and Stone Mountain.
Gun holstered, enemy down.
Lots of people loved it. Then I flew to South Africa with B&J to headline at the Global Citizens Festival, made a quick pit stop in Dubai to do Dubai shit, and then hit India to perform at a wedding for the daughter whose dad is the richest man in India. But none of that came easy at all. Before moving to LA, I spent several years in my hometown of Cedar Falls, Iowa as an aspiring creator with only a few $100s in my bank account and a massive passion to create.
Are you filming this, dude?
I was trying to figure out how to make it. I couldn't afford film school, so I invested in countless hours online researching my interest in film, photography, and music in my parents' basement. I would watch a billion behind-the-scenes videos from film and music video sets, tour videos, to documentaries, reading blogs, and spent even more time trying to create professional-grade content with my friends while attending college getting a communications degree. I sent out hundreds of emails to professionals that I looked up to, hoping for a bit of advice, or better yet, an opportunity. But nobody responded. That didn't stop me. I put my head down and found a way to break through the front doors of the industry. I moved to LA and slept on floors and couches for more than 15 months. I got my hands on any job that I could. I went through the ropes of paying my dues, working for free, getting underpaid and taken advantage of, but I was willing to do whatever it took to get my name out there. I was lucky enough to find incredible mentors and friends that I could grow and learn from in the process and help put everything into motion for me, which later set me up to be able to work with some of the greatest artists in the world. And while all of this was happening, I started to notice that other aspiring creators were reaching out to me for advice. Thousands of messages began rolling in from people who were just like me, trying to figure it out. They just needed a little push. So I started a private creator community called Black with No Cream in August of 2017. This would be an online home for creators of all kinds who were interested in becoming the best at what they do. The goal was simple: build a space where creators could come and ask questions, share their work, offer advice, provide opportunities, and best of all, meet people within the industry. I started this community so that the next guy or girl could get to where I am easier than I did. I started this to provide resources that didn't exist when I was coming up, and it worked. Thousands of creators from all around the world have joined and are active as fuck.
We have 4,000 members from all over the world.
Yo, this is my dad. He's in the Black with No Cream group.
From Dubuque, Iowa.
I'm from Copley, Hawaii.
Detroit, Michigan.
Perth, Western Australia.
I'm from Shanghai.
We're from the Cayman Islands.
I'm from Sacramento.
I'm from New York. Houston, Texas. Toronto, Canada. I'm from New Zealand.
The activity is booming as creators share their art and ideas and show their growth every day. I eventually started the Black with No Cream podcast as an additional opportunity to provide education to the community. The podcast consists of me interviewing very successful creators in the industry with the hopes of sharing their success stories, tips, and suggestions on how to become an iconic creator within the Black with No Cream community. The feedback I've gotten since I launched Black with No Cream has been insane. So many cool success stories sharing how the Black Window Cream community has helped them and offered them shortcuts to their goals.
It's really impressive stuff. The ability to get questions answered and being pointed in the direction of how to approach certain problems and topics. And this kind of gives you the inspiration to want to be a better creator. I feel if I don't check in with Black Window Cream, I'm kind of letting myself down.
I've actually learned so much from so many people I don't even know. So this group is definitely a gem. And I thank Ben for making this shit, man.
Like when I listened to the podcast at work, I was like, oh shit, I was meant to find this shit. I was meant to find this podcast. Like, God, thank you.
Hearing feedback like this has made me beyond hyped to have built such a powerful platform for creators. But I won't be able to do this full time without your continued support here on Patreon, and I promise to do everything I can to make this the leading space for creative education and networking. We are investing into this idea together, and we're building this shit together. I appreciate your continued support, and I look forward to the future of Black Window Cream. All right, that's the end of this video. Keep creating, you motherfuckers!